Hey there, hi there, Hyde here. Today we're going to be playing Rupert Grint's How the Grints Stole Christmas Part 2. Little known fact, he could not actually legally endorse this project. In fact, he has nothing to do with it. The name is coincidental, and the likeness is also coincidental. An AI model generated an AI model generated an AI generated model model generated Rupert Grint's likeness, right? But his likeness is not endorsed or actually allowed. So do remember, not officially endorsed by Rupert Grint. It's how, the Grints stole Christmas. Of course it's not. I love this game. I had it as a child back when Rupert Grint was on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as Carl Carlton. You might remember his, it's not unusual dance to Carlton. Yeah, that was actually improvised, so you can thank Rupert Grint for that. He did a great job. A lot of people say he doesn't look a thing like how he used to when he was younger, and that's true. Like, we all age, some of us more gracefully than others, but I won't hold that against him, right? I have not aged gracefully either, So, it's been probably 10 years since I've played Rupert Grint's How the Grints Stole Christmas Part 2. This game is legendary. It was life-changing. It redefined certain terms in my life, like redefined and life. Yes, before this game, I had no idea who Rupert Grint was. Rupert Grint Jr., of course, played Fred in Scooby-Doo, the live-action movie. So he was also there. You might remember that movie. It didn't do too well, if I remember. Something about having Mr. Bean as the villain didn't sell well. And then Mr. Bean actually turning out to be a dog in a robot suit. I don't know. There aren't any demons in Scooby-Doo lore. The animated movies, like direct-to-film ones, don't exist. They're not canon, right? Yeah. Incidentally, Rupert Grint did not play any roles in any Scooby-Doo movies, to my knowledge. That's something they probably missed out on. I think Rupert Grint would have made a fantastic Scrappy-Doo. I think people would have bullied him just as much as they bullied him in the Harry Potter series, right? I don't know if they could have made him eat a slug. Like, one could hope, right? That one could be made to eat a slug. Oh, gee. Think about that. Being able to enjoy escargot while you're filming. Man, that is fantastic. Of course, you've got to get the butter right. Now, again, this game is not officially licensed or endorsed by Rupert Grint himself. The name is coincidental, as is any likeness. I know, it's ridiculous. It's a fan game, really. It's a fan indie game. Rupert Grint's How the Grints Stole Christmas Part 2. That's just the name. You would think that Rupert Grint, apostrophe S, would imply that it's his, but no. As far as I know, it's just a massive coincidence that the person who made this game was also named Rupert Grint. Yeah. Maybe it's Rupert Grint from the future or the past. Could be. I really don't know. Anything's possible when you're Rupert Grint. Anyway, let's get into this game, shall we? I hope you enjoy it. Hey there, hi there, Hyde here. And today we're going to play How the Grints Stole Christmas 2. That's a little-known indie game made by Rupert Grint himself, back when he was still playing Carl Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I know. Little-known role. Doesn't look like him. He changed a lot when he started getting into the Harry Potter role. I know. He kind of let himself go a little bit, but we've all been there once or twice in our life, right? Then there was the unfortunate arc of Rupert Grint as Carl Carlton forgetting to eat the Barbie off of the watermelon table. You remember that scene? And then he did the Tom Jones dance. It's not unusual, Yeah. Anyway, today we're going to be playing Rupert Grint's How the Grints Grow Grints Christmas? Grintsmas, yes. 2. Little known sequel, made after the Carl Carlton arc of his acting career. Great time to be a Grint. I remember one time when I was talking on the phone, it was a rotary phone of course, back in those days, we were talking about eating cow. Yeah, I know, cow, ew, cow. But back then, cow was perfectly acceptable to be eaten, and Mad Cow was just in London, and that was about it. For a couple of years. After a couple of years, it kind of hit elsewhere, but that's just how it goes, right? Sometimes the Grints comes to you and the Grints goes elsewhere. Grints blessings, right? That time of the season. Yeah. Oh, but here's the thing about the Grintsmas Part 2. Rupert Grint himself is not actually part of the project. His likeness is not even licensed. They had to create their own. They had to make an AI just to make an AI model of making an AI model of making an AI model of an AI model of making his face. So that's how we get this. Yeah. So anyway, today we're going to be playing how the Grintsmas Part 2, starring not Rupert Grint, because Rupert Grint is not affiliated with the project. At the time, he was working as Carl Carlton on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, so of course he could not have actually participated in the project of the making of how the Grintsmas Part 2. Just couldn't happen, right? I know what you're thinking though. Yes, he was making sure to get those Harry Potter roles in. Yes. Anyway, today we're going to be playing how the Grints Part 2. I hope you all enjoy. Let's play. Hey there, hi there, Hyde here. Today we're going to play Rupert Grint's How the Grints Stole Grintsmas Part 2. Part 1 was a hit smash in August of 2005.2. I know, it was a strange year, a partial one in fact. So it was really surprising when the first game came out in the series. No one was expecting it. Everyone thought the holiday season was already over, but no. Bam! Right when you least expect it, Rupert Grint strikes. Now, I do want to be very clear here. Rupert Grint, the actor, is not officially part of the project for Rupert Grint's How the Grints Stole Grintsmas Part 2, or to my knowledge, Part 1. That's just somehow there. Some kind of loophole. Perhaps the author or developer, or even the publisher, was named Rupert Grint. Such things are possible, and they definitely happen, so please don't sue. Please. Yeah, right, okay. So, Rupert Grint's How the Grints Stole Grintsmas 1 was a huge hit. Everybody clamored for more. And in 2007.3, we got this sequel. It was groundbreaking. Because at that point, Rupert Grint, the actor, came out. He debuted as an actor, and he was in the hit series The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Yes, you'll remember him as Carl. Carl Carlton was his name, yeah. He did the Tom Jones dance, What's new, pussycat? Whoa, whoa, whoa. That kind of thing. Yeah, he did the dance to that song. Everybody loved it. And now that's a meme. Like, there are Fortnite dancers doing the Rupert Grint's What's New Pussycat dance. It's remarkable, right? How pop culture goes like that. I don't remember anything like that ever happening before Rupert Grint was an actor. So I'm going to attribute that to him. I think that's probably the truth. This game features Rupert Grint, not Rupert Grint the actor, but Rupert Grint the character, as Rupert Grint the character, not Rupert Grint the actor. as the Grint, a seeming parody of the Grinch from How the Grinch Stole Christmas by Dr. Seuss. So we have a lot of different liabilities here. Probably why this game was in litigation hell for so long. So often it was just shelved and stored, and you couldn't get a hold of it. I remember the first time I saw it, it was, I guess, Augustine. Yeah, it was Augustine. I got my Augustine August dollars, and we had this great time going down to the store with our Augustine August dollars, and I exchanged mine for a copy of Rupert Grint's How the Grints Stole Grintsmas, Part 2. And, oh man, I think that was probably the best use of my Augustine August dollars that I've ever had, you know? A lot of people, they use their August dollars to buy candy or ceremonial goats, but personally, video games are probably more in the spirit of Augustine, right? Yeah. So yeah, let's start playing. Fun fact about this game, a lot of people don't know this, but Rupert Grint's How the Grints Stole Grintsmas Part 2 actually released in the summer of '85. Yes, when Camaros were all the rage and people were wearing short shorts and people were throwing Barbies on the grill and they were eating them just like that. Some of them put mustard on them, but personally I didn't like mustard on my Barbies. I think they were always more of a ketchup kind of thing. You know, a little bit lower class, a little bit more common. Everyone remembers when the cows were turtling, but no one remembers when turtles were cowing. It's not like I'm out there putting sauerkraut on my Barbies, okay? There was a whole summer where just wildfires and cows, turtles, and turtles cowing, and we just forgot it. Like it never happened. Just completely out of our minds. How does that happen, you know? Like, where did they go? Where did those memories go? I don't get it. And here's another thing. Sometimes people tell me, they tell me things, and it's fun, but I'd rather them not.